Good afternoon, grade 7. Welcome to this lesson of electrical and mechanical systems and control. Grade 7, before we proceed with today's lesson, let us talk about your assessment. I have talked to school management about, I've talked to the HOD about your problem of submission. Before we talk any further about this problem, let me establish how many of you did submit your test? How many of you submitted successfully? Just chat and tell me. How many of you? Minas, Mudiehi, Jabulo. Tell me, who of you submitted? Okay, Minas, okay. Others? Angelina, you didn't submit? Okay. You didn't submit. Is there anyone who did submit? Okay. I've just given you my email address. Boipelo. I've given all of you my email address. We are going to give you assessment tomorrow so that you can write a short test. You will submit it both to the school and to me. Okay, so that I can see how you went in the test. And the reason for you being unable to submit, I have gathered, is that the system was full, the school system was full. So it couldn't take your assessments. So that's why you kept on trying to submit and it wasn't taking the tests, the files. So that's what was your problem. That's the reason why you could not submit. So I hope that the school is addressing that and you will be able to submit tomorrow after you have written your other tests. No, it will be a different short test. It is informal assessment though. Okay? It is informal assessment. Okay. So let's continue with today's lesson. Okay, we'll do the crane. Right. What I want us to do today is basically your crane project. I want us to do it together. Welcome, Jabulo. Okay, my darling, you're welcome, Jebs. Okay. Now, today we'll show you how to build your crane with your electromagnet. So you must be careful, okay? Let's see. Okay. Something is wrong in the arrangement of these slides here. Okay. Now we are making the crane. Okay. I will show you the different parts of the crane. Remember, yesterday I showed you 2 types of cranes that you can make. So you need, you can submit to me in my email, and you will submit both to the school and to me. Just submitting to me is backup. Okay, right. So we will be making the crane. Remember yesterday, in the previous lesson, I showed you 2 types of that you can model with cardboard and with paper straws. So I just picked one that you can model, and I will encourage you to try this at home, and you will be learning how to make the frame structure of the crane and the electromagnet, and then you can do it under the supervision of your parents. Right. Modeling the crane with paper tubes. Right. The frame of the model crane in the photograph is built from paper tubes made into triangles. How many triangles can you see here? How many triangles can you see here? It's 3 triangles you can see, right? So you use these triangles using paper tubes. Remember in another lesson, yes, it's very simple. Only 3 triangles, and then you have your cardboard there. Remember, grade 7, when we are working with cardboard, we score the cardboard. Do you know how to score? You draw your lines, your fold lines with your pencil, you mark them, and then you place your ruler with a sharp object. Then you press, you don't tear, you don't cut, but you press very hard so that there is a fold line that is scoring. So you're going to score the cardboard to bend it like that, and you use your paper fasteners there. So it's very simple. 3 triangles we used to make the crane. Note that when these triangles are put together, they will form other triangles, okay? Like these triangles, don't count them. When these 2 triangles are put together, they form this other triangle here, this other triangle and another one at the back. Ignore those triangles, okay? It is just these 3 triangles that you have to make with your paper tubes. And you have your paper fasteners there holding together these triangles, holding them firmly to the cardboard, okay? And list the materials that are used to build this model. Can you identify the materials? It's not difficult. What is it that you can see here when you have to make your list of materials? What materials can you identify here? Cardboard. And what is it that you use to make your paper tubes? You use waste paper. In offices, you get waste paper. You can ask your parents to bring you waste paper. You have these pins. Don't just say pins. You can buy this from your stationery shop. It is paper fasteners. These paper fasteners, as you can see, no, not pins and needles. Paper fasteners, they split. On one side, they have a head like this, and the legs, they split on this other side. Please get these because they give you a very good connection, okay? Right. Paper tubes, cardboard, string. You have string there. You have wooden dowels. There's a wooden dowel there. You have nails. There's a nail there. You have plastic cylinder. Plastic cylinder. Where's the plastic cylinder? Wire or paper clip. There's a wire for the crank there. You have copper, paper fasteners, glue, metal washers. There are the metal washers, and the wire, it will come to connect these washers here to make a weight. Thin cloth or sponge to wipe the surface as you are working. Right. Now, look at the joints. Identify the materials used for the joints on this model. Grade 7, can you tell me what is it? This is the joint. What is it that you use for the joint? What material has been used for the joint? Njabulo, don't say pins. Otherwise, your parents will go and buy you pins. You have a paper fastener. Can you see what a paper fastener looks like? There's a paper fastener. Wooden dowel, there's a wooden dowel. Very good. And you have, you made a joint there using cardboard. But this is a gusset. You made a gusset using cardboard. So you have a cardboard gusset there. You have paper tubes there. You have your paper fasteners there and a wooden dowel. Okay, so that is the material that is used to make this joint. You have cardboard, glue, paper fasteners, and paper tubes. But you also have a wooden dowel also. The wooden dowel is used as something else, but it is in the joint. Okay, right. And then, let me minimize you. When you look at the pulley, you have to attach a pulley to your crane. You have to attach a pulley. Look at the pictures below. Look at how the pulley is made. What material is the pulley made of? Sorry. There's your pulley. It goes all this way. What is the pulley made of? Cardboard. What else? Wooden dowels, Angelina, correct? You see a wooden dowel? Cardboard, what else? What else do you see? In a pulley, what is it that makes a pulley? You have a cable. So you have a string there, that's for your cable. For your pulley, yeah, the string is the cable for the pulley. Okay, so these wooden dowels are directing the path of this cable. Okay, that's how you make your pulley system for the crane. And there's your pulley system. It starts there. You have a little winch there, and then the cable will go up to be directed by this wooden dowel. From there, it goes there. And when it comes here, there's another wooden dowel, okay? And then it goes to the load. Now, that is how you make your pulley. You have your wooden dowel. The pulley is directed by a wooden dowel. Now, let us look at the winch. List the materials that make up the winch. You obviously can see the crank there, the crank of the winch. And what is the winch made of? Grade 7? What is it that you are going to use to make the winch? You can use a screw or a nail. You have a string and a box. Let me see about the wooden dowel. No. A box, cardboard. Okay. Yeah. And that's how you make your winch. And the winch has a crank. So you'll be winding the crank of the winch to get a winding of the string. Okay. And for that is what you can use a nail for. All right. Hello, Khapeli. Yes. We are making the crane now. We are looking at what it takes to make the crane, the materials that we use for the crane. Right. So here's the material. Plastic cylinder or wooden dowel for the drum, cardboard for the crank, and the housing of the winch. Nail for the crank or the screw. You said the screw? Yes. Nail for the crank handle. There's a nail. And then you attach this. You can use masking tape or use a cardboard with glue. Okay? You also need glue to attach this, to hold it in place. It must be fixed. This housing for the winch must be fixed to the base. Okay? I hope you can see how you make these things. And the load, note where and how the weight has been attached to the end of the pulley. Explain what you see. What is it that you see here? What is this load made of? What will you use to make the load? Where will you get this metal? What is this metal? Boipelo, what do we call these pieces of metal? Grade 7, what do we call these? They are called washers. These are washers. Right, these washers are going to make our weight here, our load. Ne? Right, you are going to connect these washers to the string and you tie the string up on the end of this triangle. Okay, so this a collection of washers is what is going to make your load. Right. This wire can be a bent paper clip. Get one of those big paper clips, and then you open it and you attach this load of washers, and then you attach it to the end of the triangle where the load must be attached. Okay, that is going to move by the pulley system that is operated from the winch. I hope you can understand how you are going to make this. So this is it. There's your bent paper clip or a wire. I prefer a wire because maybe the paper clip will be too small. But if you can't find a wire, take a very big paper clip. It will serve the purpose. Then you collect all those, washers, you attach them there, and then you put them on this part of the of your crane. Right. When you can look at this side of your crane, when you can look at this side of your crane, at the bottom there, you have a collection of nails, right? These nails, they are there to counteract the weight of these washers. So as you're making your crane, you know you have this load here. This load can make your crane to topple over. So to prevent that, you must put another weight. You can put any other weight here that will hold down this weight on this end of your crane. In this case, we have put a collection of nails. So these nails, they serve as a counterweight. Now, you have seen how you must make your crane. So now you are engaging in the design process. Remember, the design process starts with an investigation. So we've been investigating types of cranes. Design, you have to have a drawing of the crane that you choose. You have to have a different 3 freehand sketches at least, and you have your chosen idea. Then from the chosen idea, you are going to make a working drawing. The working drawing is the final drawing of the crane that you are going to make. So you have your order of work. Right. Now, in your order of work, you must have a flow chart. I have shown you a flow chart in one of our previous lessons. Flow charts are sometimes called flow diagrams. That is the plan for your work. You have to plan your work. Flow charts are designed to make information easier to understand. They are fun to use because you can use colors and pictures instead of just words. You'll make a process flow chart. A process flow chart shows the method or process of making something from start to finish. There are other types of flow charts too, okay? How to make a flow chart. The first shape identifies the topic or the first step of the process, okay, in your flow chart. Arrows show the direction of the process from the first step to the end. Follow the steps to read the process in the correct order. They can run horizontally or vertically. The flow chart I'm going to share with you is vertical. The last shape is used for the last step in the process. Now, when you are making your crane, before you start making the crane, your design process must have a flow chart that is going to lay out all the actions that you will take to work on your project. So that is what the flow chart is for. You have to plan your work. You cannot just do a project without a project plan. So right now at school, you are not doing this at school because your grade 7s are at school right now. So your teacher at school will not tell you to do this crane, to make this crane, okay? Because We are learning at a time of COVID, so we are practicing social distancing. Normally, we do not work like that in technology. We work in groups and we make these projects. So you are not going to make the project at your school because you go to school, right? For now, you are not going to school because the president has closed schools for the time being, but even when you reopen, we'll be having a special kind of curriculum. But now in this lockdown school, we are showing you these projects that you are supposed to make. And it's easier for you to make this project at home because you are not in a group of grade 7 learners at home. You can practice the skill of making at home under the supervision of your parents. Okay, so that by the time you pass grade 7, you know all the skills that were learned in grade 7, right? Now, you normally have to put everything that you have done in a file that is called a project portfolio. So it would be found in your project portfolio, but now your teachers will not cause you to do any project portfolio. I'm just assisting you to see what is learned in technology in grade 7. Right. You plan to make your crane, okay? Actually, let me start here. This is the flow chart. This flow chart will assist you to plan. You think, what is the first thing that I must do in making? I must make a working drawing. Then, after making a working drawing, I know that my crane will look like this. I know my crane will look like this. And then I will draw this crane. How many paper tubes do I need here? 2, 4, 6. How many gaskets do I need here? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I need to draw this so that I will know what is it that I need and how much of it I need. Okay. So you roll the straws, right? And then you build the crane. When you are joining the tools, when you are cutting and joining the material using the tools, right? And then you assemble and strengthen. Remember, there are many other cranes I have shown you, okay? I'm just making an example of one crane you can make. There are many other cranes. You can even design your own, okay? It is best to do it with your paper straws because it's not costly to do that. You are using waste paper, or even use cardboard because cardboard can be waste paper. You don't need to go and buy cardboard. Then you assemble and strengthen. After that, your crane is complete. You make the pulley and then you make the crank. Okay? The crank is this one. The crank is this one. This one. Because your crane must really operate by a pulley system. And for you to activate the pulley system, you need to have an input on the crank. So you sit and make that. All right. And then after that, you start building the crane. You prepare to build. You gather all your materials and tools. Roll as many straws as you think you will need. Okay? If you make a tower crane, remember I showed you a tower crane in the previous 2 lessons, you may need many straws and a tower crane looks beautiful. Okay? It's up to you which crane you choose. You can make the cardboard one that I showed you yesterday. It's up to you. Right. and you start making the crane and the box, and it will be mounted on. The crane must have a base. It must have a broad base so that it doesn't topple over. If you make the tower crane, remember a tower crane is a frame structure and it is tall, and it also has the jib. So you need to have a balancing of weight so that it will not topple over. You start wrapping the iron pieces with the insulated wire. And then after you have made the crane is complete, then you make an electromagnet. Okay, an electromagnet is made up of a core that can be an iron bolt or for a hard core, or a bundle of short pieces of iron wire for a soft core, or a nail. You can use a nail too. A long length of insulated wire to wrap around the core, I'm sorry. An insulation tape to hold the components together. The circuit for the electromagnet is made up of a battery. You can use 1.5 V D cells, those big cells. They are still 1.5 volts. We use D cells instead of the 1.5 V AA cells. Those AA cells, sorry, the AA cells are pen-like batteries. They are those small ones. You must note, these 1.5 volts D cells, the D cells are quite big, né? But they have the same voltage as the AA cells, okay? The pen-like batteries. Because the D cells contain more material and they therefore last longer. Then you need a battery holder. The cells must be connected in series. If you don't have a battery holder, you can use masking tape. You can hold the battery together, the cells together. You can hold them by using masking tape. Right, you can use insulation tape to tape them together. You need a switch. I will show you, you can make your own switch. You don't need to buy a switch. Use a switch that will stay on until you want it to switch it off. You can make your own or buy a switch. I encourage you to make your own, don't buy. You need wire to connect the different components. So I showed you yesterday an example of an electromagnet. So I want to draw attention here to the switch. You can make your own switch at home. You use the paper fasteners, the ones that you used for your crane. Use the same. Those paper fasteners, because they are metal, they will conduct electricity through these electric wires. And this is a paper clip. This paper clip, don't use the plastic one, use the metal one. The metal one will conduct electricity, and then when it is connecting to this paper fastener here, the switch will be closed, so there'll be a flow of current. And this can be cardboard. So these paper fasteners will be open on the side. They will open sideways under this cardboard, and on top you have your switch. You'll be controlling your switch here. And before you puncture the holes for the paper fasteners, check the size of the paper clip, because then when the paper clip comes here, it must reach this so that the current will flow. So this will be your switch. So there's your battery with insulation tape, holding all the cells together. These are D cells. There's your electromagnet, the soft core, the nail soft core with the electric wire wound around it, and it is connected to the switch. This is how you make your electromagnet. Then you draw a circuit diagram for your electromagnet. This is the circuit diagram. Remember when we, it's not the first time you see this circuit diagram. Now it comes into your project. Okay? This circuit diagram has your electromagnet here. Indicate, because now this is a magnet, indicate the North Pole and the South Pole. Use arrows to show the flow of electrons from the North Pole to the South Pole, okay? And then you have your switch there. It is a closed single pole, single throw switch, closed there. And then you have your battery connected there, okay? So this is the circuit diagram of your electromagnet. And then this electromagnet, this electromagnet will be attached to your crane. Right. Now, this is how you build your crane. Make sure that the joints are well made and strong. It doesn't take you long to build this crane when you have all your materials together. Join the frame to the base, okay, and see that it sustains the weights, okay? Measure the structural members accurately. This will contribute to a stable crane that balances properly. Yes, Mudieri, it is compulsory to build. We are learning about, it's mainly structures because we have learned about structures. So it is assessment for our structures, mechanical systems, and electrical systems. Although you are not doing it at school, but I have to teach you because all these systems come into it, okay? Right, when you are when you are doing your measurements, grade 7, and you are using your ruler, you start measuring from 0, okay? Measure from 0, not the edge of the ruler, okay? Build the crank and pulley, that's your mechanical systems. The way you build your crank and pulley, it should show that you understand the mechanical advantage of these systems, the crank systems and the pulley. Attach the pulley to the frame. Make sure that the frame is strong and firm enough where the pulley will be attached to the frame. Attach, use a sharp pair of scissors, be careful not to hurt yourself, or a craft knife to cut string, paper, or card. Use a sharp nail or an awl. Do you know what an awl is? An awl is a tool that we use for scoring, and we also use it for piercing cardboard. Listen, if you don't have an awl, don't worry. Use the nail. The nail will help you. The metal nail. I don't mean your fingernail. I mean the metal nail, okay? You use that to make a hole, okay? Remember, when we make our projects, safety comes first. So it's very important that you work safely, okay? Now, When you want to look at this project, check your workbook, the MST workbooks, ukuqonda, check them online. I hope you have downloaded them. They will assist you with the practicals. You will look at these steps one by one, okay? And do communicate with me. I have shared my email address with you. So tomorrow you'll be writing the test, submit to the school, and also email it to me. All the best. Thank you very much, grade 7. Bye.